You know how it is when you're looking for interesting companies and you see the phrase medical device distributor? You usually just keep scrolling.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like, let's be honest, just endless paperwork and logistics.
Exactly. But for today's deep dive, we've got a stack of research here on a Warsaw-based company called Synektik. And they are basically breaking every rule in that playbook.
They really defy the usual categorization. If you look at the cover of the report from East Valley Research, this is the update from November 21st, 2025, you see a buy rating with a target of 295.20 PLN. But
Yeah.
once you open it, you realize this isn't really a distribution company anymore.
Right, it's more of a hybrid.
It's a cash printing machine attached to a high-stakes biotech lottery ticket.
I love the sound of that. Let's start with the cash machine part. This is their Da Vinci surgical robot business, right? I mean, I've seen the videos of those things peeling grapes.
The grape videos are classic, but they are incredibly impressive machines. And Synektik is moving a lot of them. In the 2024 to 2025 fiscal year, they sold 27 units, which easily beat expectations.
But if you just look at the robot sales, you're kind of missing the actual business model. Because selling a robot is, well, it's a one-time thing. You can't sell the same hospital a robot every single year.
No, but you can sell them the instruments. Think about the physics of it. Selling a 2-ton robot is a heavy logistical lift, and it has decent margins. But that robot is totally useless without the proprietary instruments that have to be replaced constantly.
So it's the classic printer and ink model,
Yeah.
just with, surgical precision.
And that ink is very expensive. The report highlights that recurring revenue from services and consumables, those instruments jumped over 60% year over year.
Wow. Over 60%?
Yeah, it's a massive structural shift. It's the main reason their EBITDA margin hit 26%. They aren't just hunting for the next big sale anymore. They're harvesting profit from every single surgery performed on the machines they've already installed.
That makes sense. But is that 60% growth sustainable? Or is this just, I don't know, a post-COVID backlog finally clearing out?
It actually looks like it's going to accelerate, but for a totally different reason. We have a use it or lose it situation right now with EU funds. Poland has billions in the Reconstruction and Resilience Fund that essentially turn into pumpkins if they aren't spent by the end of 2026.
So hospital administrators are basically panic shopping.
Essentially, yes. They have to upgrade their tech now or they lose the grant money entirely. Analysts expect Synektik to sell another 32 robots in the coming year, just riding this wave.
Plus, they're expecting their first sales in the Baltic region soon.
Right, and don't forget the replacement cycle. The robots they sold back in 2018 and 2019 are starting to age out and need replacing.
Okay, so you have this incredibly solid, predictable business fueled by EU cash. But you mentioned a lottery ticket earlier. Usually, distributors stay strictly in their lane. They don't do R&D.
This is where Synektik gets really unusual. They are developing a proprietary cardiac tracer for PTTC techs.
A tracer, so a radioactive compound injected into the body to help image the heart.
Exactly. And this isn't just some small science fair project. It is entering phase 3 clinical studies in the U.S.
Wait, phase 3. That is the final boss of drug development. That's where pharmaceutical giants go to burn hundreds of millions of dollars. For a mid-sized Polish distributor to play at this level seems incredibly risky.
It is extremely risky, but the market is starting to price it in. East Valley Research attributes about 36.70 PLN per share just to this cardiac tracer project.
Treating it almost like a separate biotech startup.
And Synektik knows it doesn't belong inside a distribution company, so they're spinning it off into a separate entity called SNT PW S.A. in 2026.
So they're walling it off completely.
Exactly. It's a barbell strategy. On one side, super safe robot sales. On the other, a high-risk, high-reward biotech play.
But how are they paying for phase 3 trials right now without taking on massive debt? The biotech side usually drains the bank account.
That's their superpower here. They have negative net gearing.
Break that down for the non-CFOs listening to us right now.
It just means they have more cash on hand than debt. In a world where interest rates are still a major factor, having a war chest of your own cash allows you to fund these moonshot projects without answering to creditors.
That's rare. Revenue hits 681.3 million PLN, right? Up over 9%.
Yep. But EBITDA jumped 24% to 177.7 million. And they are still paying a dividend.
A rising one, too, yielding nearly 4%. So you get the boring cash flow, the dividend, and a free ticket to the biotech spinoff.
It sounds almost too good to be true, but the clock is ticking. The EU funds for the robots expire in 2026. The spin-off happens in 2026.
So 2026 is definitely the year to watch, which leaves you with a really fascinating question to think about. With all this free EU money flooding the system right now, is Synektik peaking today? Or is this upcoming spinoff just the beginning of a totally different valuation model for the company?
That is the big question. It's going to be a wild year for them.
It really is. Thanks for helping us crack this one open.
Any